Well, we've kicked off a new year, and as always, that brings about the ever-popular New Year's resolutions. Number 2 in popularity, of which, of course, is weight loss. Now, 2022 brings about yet another challenge for making that lifestyle change, and that is, of course, the pandemic. Well, Personal Edge Fitness has a solution for both. We're talking online training and Catalyst with Joshua Gooch today on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast
with Garrett Williamson.
Health, wellness, exercise, nutrition, and a whole lot more. Got questions? Call us and leave a message at 251-278-EDGE or message us at Personal Edge Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, at Team PE on Twitter, or personaledgefitness.com.
Good day and welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Garrett Williamson, president of Personal Edge Fitness. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we're talking about two of my favorite topics, actually. One of them that's become extremely popular and favorite of mine, of course, which is online training. But at the first of the year, of course, we want to cover that ever-present New Year's resolution of getting in shape or losing weight. And, of course, we've got a fantastic program for dealing with that. If you have any questions about this podcast or any of these programs that we talk about today, or if you have any challenges in fitness, health, wellness you'd like us to address, you can contact us at area code 251-278-3343. That's our phone number. It's 251-278-EDGE, EDGE. Now, it's a voicemail, and we do check it on a regular basis. And as you've seen on the program before, we do follow up and answer your questions here if need be, or we'll contact you directly. If you'd rather do email, you can contact me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. You also contact us through our website, which is personaledgefitness.com, and our Facebook page, which is, of course, Personal Edge Fitness. Now, New Year's resolutions. You're probably going to get used to me at the beginning of every year talking about New Year's resolutions because it's so ever present. Everybody always asks me, is January a big month for you? Of course, because of New Year's resolutions. But like I said in the intro, this year poses a continuing problem. I shouldn't say a new problem because we've been experiencing this a while, and that is the pandemic. COVID, we're now in a variant called Omicron, and highly contagious. A lot of people are concerned about it, and rightfully so. That's yet another barrier to changing your life and actually going through a weight loss program or getting in shape, even just going to the gym. Well, we have a couple of different ways of attacking those problems. I have with me today a guest, and you've met him before. He's been on the show before, obviously, and that's our Eastern Shore Director, Joshua Gooch. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Garrett.
I appreciate you being with us. And I really had to have you on it, not only for your involvement as a Catalyst instructor, but all of us do online training. What percentage of your clientele, what percent would you say that you're training online now?
Oh, at least somewhere between 65 to 85%. Yeah,
exactly. So, okay. Which is why I'm having you on the show to talk about online training. And online training is something that people have had a lot of questions about and not sure about. But I really want to kind of get you to relate to everybody why online training is becoming so popular and kind of give them a taste of that experience. For those that may have missed the podcast when you came on and talked about the kids programs with us, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're located now.
Well, originally born and raised Athens, Alabama, where if you don't know where that is, you probably know where Huntsville is, and that's where I grew up. Came down to Mobile for school, thought originally physical therapy, and ended up realizing that's not really what I wanted to do. Found Personal Edge Fitness through an internship, believe it or not, originally, and they kept me on, afterwards. First intern ever brought on to Personal Edge Fitness, and that's kind of where I got my start, and I've been over in Daphne, Alabama.
Fantastic. Okay. And Josh is our Eastern Shore Director over here. And just not that we're talking about it today, but we should do that in another podcast, talk about the internship program and why we have it and what have you. Josh is a great product of our internship program because he was such a fantastic intern and trainer for that matter. I mean, Lord, within 4 or 5 years, you're managing your own facility over here. Yeah. Josh is now director of our internship program. And we'll talk about that another time. But online training. We've been doing online training since 2012. A lot of Johnny-come-latelys have jumped into this game because the pandemic has caused it. Mm-hmm. But we've been doing it since 2012. But we had a major ramp up, a major change a couple of years ago now. Tell us about it, pal.
Yeah, well, March 2020, when everything kind of, hit the fan, so to speak.
That's probably the best way to say it.
I got pulled from Daphne back to our other facility, and it was almost over the weekend. I think it was. We went from training in person on a Friday, literally turning around, and that next Monday, everyone, and I mean all of our clients were online.
Right.
Over the weekend, we were calling everyone, all of the directors. We split up, calling all the clients, saying, no, we can still get your sessions in, but we're going to do it a little differently.
What I thought was awesome was the fact that so many people, of course, the CDC at the time had been telling everybody, one of the big ways to combat this pandemic was to maintain your health.
Oh, absolutely.
Our clients were really wanting to work out, and literally it was, you're right, over a weekend. I mean, we ended a Friday. That week we trained over 200 sessions in person. And then the very next Monday, that next week, we were doing 200 plus online.
Yeah.
I remember the studios we had set up in the facilities, which we still have now, because it's gone so prevalent. But what was interesting about it was how much we learned, even though we'd been doing online training since 2012, how popular it became. Like you said a minute ago, 60 to 85% of your clientele is now online. There's a lot of questions people had about going online. Tell us a little bit about the experience, the different formats that we use. What is it like to do online training?
As far as the formats go, from Zoom, FaceTime, Facebook Portal, I mean, we've got people doing all kinds. We can handle, just like we can, anyone, we can handle all types as far as the online goes. But the biggest thing for me, my concern was, am I going to lose that personal touch?
Right.
That we have. We do, again, the one-on-one small group classes, and that's where I thrive, is being with somebody one-on-one. Am I going to lose that with online? And the short answer of it is absolutely not. I know a lot of people probably think, are these videos that I have to watch? I'm not going to be able to work this. Absolutely not. You let me do all the work. I call you. So it's kind of one of these things. We have all these different age groups too. You have your Irises of the world that are in their, early 90s that are still doing this online thing. You have your Tylers that are, way younger, below the age of, 10 that are doing online as well. So anyone, any place, anytime can utilize this. It's super, super easy. I think, Garrett, that's one of the biggest fears is I'm not going to be able to work this. I don't have the equipment.
Right.
I don't, the setup, that kind of thing.
Well, and how many of your, think about it. What percentage of your clients that you work with online have equipment? And I'm talking about, I think everybody's got a can of peas they can live.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I'm talking about are equipped, quote unquote, have the equipment.
Probably 3. Have when you think of your
and he's working with more than
gym.
5.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you,
absolutely.
So.
But again, I tell everyone, listen, let me know the equipment that you have. Whether it's a set of bands, dumbbells, whatever that is. If all you have is 4 walls and a chair and a floor, I can work with that. We can absolutely get a workout with that.
Well, and think about your clients that have exactly that.
Yeah.
You got people that you've been working with online now for at least 2 years, or coming up on 2 years.
Absolutely. I have one in particular, Eric, who he's been more consistent with his workouts online than he ever was coming into the facility, the convenience of it for him. He's not going back to in person just because of that reason. Absolutely.
You bring up an interesting point there, because at first when I heard people say that about not coming back, and as a facility owner, I don't want to get real excited when somebody says, I don't want to come back to your facility. It's amazing to me that, like the Erics of the world, the Gyms of the world, hey, this is just far more convenient. That's something when we started measuring this. Gary tracks all our numbers. Gary's got pretty much a spreadsheet on his marriage, with all due respect, Jennifer. But he really tracks everything. And he was tracking our missed sessions. I'm very proud to say that in the years that we've been in business, we were running less than 4% when people were coming in of missed sessions during a week. Yeah. We went to below 2%, almost below 1% when we were online. And now, with your online clients versus your in-person clients, what are you seeing? You seeing a big difference as far as people making their sessions and what have you?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say so. And more than just, are the online people showing up more than the in-person people are? Well, if your in-person client, if they can't make it for whatever reason, more than likely they've got that phone or that iPad on them. They can make their session in at their house. So regardless of online or in person, I think across the board, everyone's a lot more consistent.
Right. Well, I'm of course glad to hear. Definitely, as far as reaching goals.
Yes.
And we're talking about New Year's resolutions. The reason we're talking so much about online is the fact that Omicron. And I know that's got everybody scared, and I understand everybody in some way, shape, or form has that on their mind. I mean, you're bombarded with it everywhere,
yeah.
And it is. I mean, we're seeing numbers go up and what have you. So people are resistant to be in large groups, and we understand that. And that's why we're talking about online, because if you're interested in maintaining your fitness, which of course we're at the first of the year, everybody's thinking about that and making those changes. This is a way that makes it a lot easier. But talk about from the consult to the evaluation to the first session. Give us a little insight in what it's like to be in an online session, or how do you get going with it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, kind of that first, I want to say that initial meeting, that evaluation is, we can do that. We can do that one of multiple ways. We can do that online, of course, or we can do that in person. And what you'll do for that initial setting is I'll talk with you about kind of the goals, what you're looking for, how can I help you, and then from there, again, depending on who you are and depending on what your goals are, the styles can change. We have some clients again that are looking for that day-to-day fitness. Josh, I just want to pick up my grandkids. We have some clients that, Josh, I want a HIIT workout. I want that high-intensity interval training. Well, I can give that to you too. And then, of course, you have your general fitness, enthusiast,
right,
that are still looking to get, a good session in as well.
Rehab. You've got clients
absolutely.
that are doing rehab, their sessions, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got that too.
Yeah. And by the way, he mentioned the fact that he thought about doing physical therapy, and I really should get out of his reach. I'm glad I've got this on camera, because I'm about to say something he's probably not going to like. He found out it was a lot easier to marry physical therapy than
actually do it.
Yes, with all due respect, Mackenzie, Josh's wife is a physical therapist, which is why I bring that up, and I'm glad you didn't hit me when I said that. So, ages of clients. This is something only for those that are incredibly tech savvy, right? That's the question I get a lot.
Oh man, and that's what even the ones that are online, with me right now, they kind of, they ask me that, are you going to fire me, this, that, and the other? I'm like, no. So again, whether you're, younger, you're more familiar with the devices, that kind of thing, yes, it works for you. And the ones that aren't more familiar, what I tell them is, listen, all you need to do, have your phone at the ready and let me handle the rest. All you have to do is answer the phone call like you would normally. No intense setup required. All you need is a little bit of room and a place to set your device up at, and I can take it from there. Funny
you'd say that about the room, because one of my favorite examples of a successful online session is Tracy B. When she was traveling so much, and we would be in the quote unquote hallway of her hotel room. I mean, literally, it's just kind of the little hallway in her hotel room when we would be doing an online session. She would be in another space that she could lay down on the floor. That was it, and that's what we worked on. But she had her iPhone. She did it on iPhone. We did it on a computer. We did it on an iPad. One time, we trained a client in Mobile in person, in Gulf Shores, in Dallas, Texas, and in New York, and in Dothan, all in the same week. Because they travel around so much. And again, they're not missing a session. So the other thing I noticed is and you've got your own idiosyncrasies that you found during training, but I found the audio. I mean, what was interesting about that is that we're in close proximity to a client when we're working with them. I mean, we're in full control of the session, but with Bluetooth headphones, and somebody's working out and they're having a tough time in the middle of a Spider-Man push-up and towards the end of the session, and they're getting tired, I can basically be right in their ear. Come on, let's go. You got this. Not a problem. No problem. Whatever. And when they're not really awake and we need to fire them up, I go to and you're not hearing this today, but I go to the Joshua Gooch, and I bring it up. Oh, I'm going to go off the charts here if I don't change my level here, but you can be loud enough. You can be Joshua Gooch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now for me, I know you talk about the headphones, but the joke for me is I don't need any, because you can hear me all the way, from Mobile across the bay. Well,
when we have our director meeting, we don't need to have him on Zoom. He can just yell all the way. So, but But the audio definitely, but when they're watching you do form
Yes.
on their iPhone or their iPad, and how much are you able to correct them when you're watching them?
Oh, quite a bit. Now with that, what I tell them is make sure, of course, I'm cueing them throughout their movements. Now, in person, of course, we're able to kind of get a little closer as far as that goes. But with the online setup, I get them to set their device
Right.
where I can see them. All right, full body.
When we're talking device, we're talking about the
phones,
phone,
iPads,
iPad,
all that
even
stuff.
even Facebook portal. I mean,
oh yes, absolutely. Whatever you're using, whatever you're comfortable with using, and I'm able to look and see and cue. Okay, I need you to turn your foot this way, or I need you to watch your form, whatever you're doing. And then what I can do, just like I would in person, is stop them almost in the middle of the repetition and say, "Look at me. I want you to look exactly what I'm doing here." Because again, I talk with my hands, a lot, so it's not too difficult to do that. But the cueing side of things, making sure the form is correct, is not difficult at all to do.
Right, and you're not only instructing them, you're entertaining.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Because if I stop talking, stop moving, stop interacting with the clients, all you hear is this. Dead silence. They don't have that, the radio like we do at the facility. So they're not hearing that in the background. So
right.
I have to be able to, again, keep them going through the workout, but keep it from being a little boring.
Right, exactly. Make it live. For
Yes,
that matter.
yes.
All right. Well, in the last few minutes here, we're going to talk about we've got a Catalyst program kicking off, men and women.
Yes.
And out of our Mobile and Eastern Shore facility and online.
Yep.
And we're starting in just a couple of weeks. Actually, be a week. And we're starting next week. Tell us a little bit about that. What you like about the Catalyst program, a little bit about the Catalyst Lifestyle Change program.
Perfect. Well, you kind of hit it there. The thing that I like the most about Catalyst is, again, first and foremost, it is a lifestyle change. You have a lot of your quote unquote fad diets, and I mean, we could be here all day listing them off,
right.
Where the primary purpose of that is that quick and sudden weight loss, and that is it. Okay. Catalyst, it does have a food change. But again, if you're going into it with the mindset of, okay, I'm going to lose a few pounds and that's it, you're not doing it right. No, it is a lifestyle change. We want to give you the tools to where when you finish this program, you're able
right.
to go back out and live your life and do it in a way where you can enjoy your life, but you can kind of, live within your means, so to speak.
Well, that's the neat thing about it too, is that let's get this out of the way. Are you going to lose weight on it? Because I mean, no matter what we say about lifestyle change, first and foremost, everybody's concerned about, hey, the reason I got into this, I want to lose some weight. Okay, average weight loss in the Catalyst program is over 30 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason it's less than that is we've had people that have wanted to only lose 8 pounds. But what Josh is talking about is, yes, there's a temporary food change that we go through. In fact, we go through a few of them. The last one, the most important one, is that we go back to all foods. I mean, there is no such thing as bad food. Yeah. And we are adamant about that. We explain that in the education of the program. And then what we want to do is, once you've made that change, this is where most programs don't address whatsoever. They don't address this part of it. They address the change, which is great. And I'm not against any diet that's not illegal, immoral, or fattening.
Yep.
But then what? Well, the then what is handled in the last few weeks of the program. We actually are in the then what. We are actually in how am I going to live? How am I going to live my life and still enjoy the foods I like, enjoy all foods for that matter?
Yeah.
How do I live? And then even once the program's over, you're not dropped.
No.
We've got ways of helping them along in the lifestyle change. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've got something right now in it to lose it that we run to kind of coincide with the Catalyst when you're looking for that, again, that extra accountability.
Right.
Okay, Josh, I need some more help. Please help me out. And we offer that as well.
That's a monthly program that we do. Once we go through Catalyst, look, you've gone through a major change. You've got all the tools. Mm-hmm. And that's the most important part about it, is that most people think they want a diet. I promise you don't, because then you're trying to change your life to a food program. That doesn't work. What we want to do is change the food program to your life. And you've got all the tools to do that. But even then, a lifestyle change takes time, and we want to make sure that we've got tools in place that if you need help to continue that we've got that available. And we do. We run that In It to Lose It program. It is a catalyst reset just to kind of get your mind refocused if you start to find yourself veer off.
Yep.
And that's why our catalyst graduates, once they go through that program, and they maintain that year after year, it gets easier and easier, and it becomes that lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Josh and I are going to be actually running the programs. If you're interested in getting involved in Catalyst, you can contact us at 251-278-3343. You can also reach out to me at Garrett@personaledgefitness.com. If you'd rather talk to Josh, he's taller than me, you can contact me at Josh, Josh, at personaledgefitness.com. Tell them how to get in touch with you here at the Eastern Shore location.
You can reach us by telephone at 251-651-0927.
If you're interested in the online program, please don't think twice about calling us and just talking to us about it if you want to. We'll be glad to answer any questions. There's a lot of barriers people feel that are there as far as getting involved with the online because they're not really sure about it. And I understand that. Same thing with Catalyst. Don't think twice about contacting us. Online training to combat the pandemic or to make it convenient for you, and Catalyst to change your life. I mean, these are just two more ways we help you reach your level of wellness. Josh, thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Contact us if we can help. Thank y'all for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Subscribe now and be a part of the show by calling 251-278-EDGE or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Personal Edge Fitness or at Team PE on Twitter, and visit us at personaledgefitness.com.